Hi everyone, my name is Smriti and I'm the lead coach for Wysa. And we are having our AMA today on the topic of self care, a very essential topic, very ignored topic. And I'll wait for people to join in. Hi everyone. Hi there on people on Instagram. We're also live on YouTube and we are live on Instagram as well. So hi to people on both channels. Am I audible? Can just somebody give me a thumbs up on if I'm audible? Hi, Lady of the Underground. Hi, MJ Assassin. I think I'll just adjust the volumes for my ringer. Am I still audible? Can somebody just give me a thumbs up? Okay, thanks. Thanks for the thumbs up. I'm presuming. Hi, Shampa. Can you give me a thumbs up if I'm being audible? I want to be sure before everything goes. Okay, thanks for Parnika. You said yes, and I'm being audible. So, self care is a much ignored area in our lives. We are always busy with some things. So, if there are people here who feel that, there are times when you feel completely drained out, when you feel fatigued, if you feel that you're finding you don't have time for yourselves in your own lives, you're always occupied with something else. If you're saying yes to any of these, then you are the perfect, uh, you know, uh, target population for this conversation that we are having today. And self care is often looked at something which is a luxury or which is considered selfish. That if I am doing something for myself, are other people being ignored? What would other people say? That she's spending time or he's spending time from their routine on their own selves, looking after your own sleep, looking after your own diet needs. But it is not absolutely a luxury or it is not a selfish act. It is a necessity. Please remember that you cannot join um, the productive group unless you are looking after your own self. You cannot be a part of that mad race every day that we are in with your best if you are not looking after your own self. I really like this saying that you cannot pour from an empty cup. It's very difficult. It's very difficult in our busy lives when we are involved with multiple things. We are involved with looking after people, as a mother, as a homemaker, as a professional. There are so many aspects of our lives that constantly demand our attention. And it's very important that in this busy schedule, if we just manage to take out some time for ourselves. And not time just doesn't mean that uh, it's not just about eating or it's not just about exercising. It's about a lot of things. It's also about your emotional hygiene. Hi Surbhi, hi Catherine, hi Arctic, see it. Hi Abna, Catherine. I'm just going to quickly also address people who are coming in. Catherine, thanks for liking that saying. I really like it. I personally use this a lot. I even have it written like a banner in my room that you cannot pour from an empty cup. Surbi says it's very difficult to keep pace with my work and create time for health. Absolutely. When there's too much going on in our lives, there are deadline pressures, there are demands at home, people demand our attention, our relationships demand our attention. It's very difficult to make out that time. Yet, if we could set just say about 10 minutes a day for different activities, say on one particular day in the week, you can make sure that you're taking out those 10 minutes for say your a meditation, a mindfulness exercise, or you're following sleep hygiene. Something we sleep every day. We need to have a 6 to 8 hours of sleep. So even if you having fixed sleep and wake times, that's a part of self-care. If you're having 7 to 8 glasses of water every day, that's a part of self-care. It's just being more self-aware of your own needs and listening to your body, not going out of the way. You may go out of the way when time requires, when people require, but not going out of the way all the time, realizing that your body is giving up, because then it would be really difficult for you to keep up with those expectations and your own expectations of being with someone and doing things for someone. So self-care routine ideally should be managing your sleep well, at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep. It's that if that's not possible, try and have shorter work cycles, especially so be like you mentioned, if you have shorter work cycles where you're having say a 25-minute work cycle and then a 2 minutes break and then again a 25 minutes work cycle and then again a 2 minutes of break, and then when you have four such 25 work cycles, take about 10 minutes of break. And in those 10 minutes, you could just simply put your head back wherever you are and then do 10 counts of deep breathing. And that by itself is doing a lot to feel relaxed and get back, get centered again, and then get your focus back. Somebody mentioned on Instagram, I want to take this up, that the person feels like dying and this life is shit. I would just like to address you first here and say that I understand sometimes life can get really difficult and it seems like if you're at a dead end and there are no solutions, but speaking to a professional about it or sharing with someone you trust about it can actually help you find alternate solutions which you cannot are being able to think of right now because you're too engrossed in your own emotions, you're immersed in your own emotions. And it's very important that you seek assistance right now. This will not be the right platform to discuss it in detail, but I really suggest you to seek help or speak to someone you trust, because sometimes when we're so engrossed in our own emotions, we cannot see alternate solutions to our problems we are in. And this is a part of emotional hygiene. This is exactly what also is an important essential element of self-care, that you listen to your emotions. And when you feel like somebody mentioned on um, the YouTube chat here we are having, that it's what do I do when I shut down emotionally? When you shut down emotionally, it means that there's an overload, just like there's an overload and then there's a short circuit and then everything shuts down. That's the time when you need to go into a snooze mode, get off technology, any social media platforms that you're on, any kind of telephone messages that you're wanting to attend to. And at that point in time, you just need to be by yourself, getting your focus back. So Pandika says Netflix doesn't let me sleep, and she says sleeping is an issue. And there are other people who are also mentioning that sleeping is an issue for them. For sleep is one of the most essential elements in maintaining a good physical and mental health. Sleep deficit can lead to a lot of problems in our daily life. It can affect our productivity, it can affect our attention, it can cause stress, it can cause mood issues. So it's really important to maintain a good sleep hygiene. I'll just quickly mention some tips for good sleep hygiene, which is you must eat at least 2 hours before your sleep time and not later than that. And any beverages that you drink should be taken at least 1 hour before your sleep time and not later than that. Do not take coffee or say chocolates, coca, all those kind of things later in the night, alcohol, as these are all stimulants and they will keep you awake, however much you look at them as ways to reduce stress. And then when you get on the bed, half an hour before getting on the bed, do not uh, pick up your face mobiles for checking your messages or Instagrams or anything. And I think people respect that. So if I have made a decision like that, I will not be responding to messages from half an hour before my sleep time, whether it's say 10 p.m. or 9:30 p.m. I've told that to my friends that if it's an urgent thing that needs to be attended, give me a call, but I will not be responding to messages on social media or your other accounts that you have. Christina, you say I sleep for like 15 hours and it's too much sleep and you still feel tired. If you sleep too much and you still feel tired, either you're having a very hectic routine or you're probably, you need to probably see a doctor and see if you're having a good quality sleep. It's a long duration sleep, but is the sleep quality good? Do you wake up too often in between your sleep? So there are a couple of questions that you would like to get evaluated for your sleep. Rihanna, you want to know more about me, I guess. My name is Smriti. I am the lead psychologist at Wysa. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist in India, and I am trained professional to deliver telemental health services online. And you can also check our profiles of the other Wysa coaches on our website. And and we were discussing about sleep. So no, definitely no. No, it's okay, Rihanna. It's okay. I mean, you can go ahead and ask, and it's perfectly fine. You should know the people who are addressing you, so it's perfectly fine to ask that question. Uh, okay, so there were a couple of questions on some mental health issues. Somebody had asked, is bipolar curable? Bipolar is manageable and treatable. So, with medication and with therapy, one can manage your moods and your energy levels perfectly to lead a normal life. There are patterns which keep emerging, and you get more aware of your patterns, and the medication helps you maintain those cycles well. It's not curable in a way that it doesn't go away completely. It stays as a part of the highs and lows that you experience. They'll be a little more extreme, but because you're taking treatment, you know about your illness, medications will definitely help you manage it better. um, Somebody had asked about OCD. Does OCD wane off as you grow older? OCD will is again, if it's a diagnosed illness, if you've got it diagnosed by a doctor or by a clinical psychologist, you'll be guided on how to deal with it. Medication definitely again helps with it. Plus, CBT is one form of therapy which is very effective in managing ruminating and compulsive thoughts. Um, and it does get better as you gain more and more control over your thoughts and your actions. Okay, so how do I find time for self-care when I have a baby and can't even get a decent night's sleep? Holly, I can feel your pain. I've raised two girls. Raising kids really take a lot of our energy and a lot of our emotions as well. 9 months of pregnancy and then the delivery and then the hormonal changes that happen. I'll tell you one experience that I had when I had my first baby. I would tell myself that, okay, even when I was in the 8th month of pregnancy and the sleep had started to get affected because of the huge belly that you get, and I felt that, okay, I'll get my sleep when I get the baby out. you know and then when the baby was out, like you're saying, you could never sleep because the baby's feeding cycles and wake cycles are so different, and we have to be with them at that point in time. And when the baby was like 1 year old, I said, okay, now I'll get some time. But once a mother, forever a mother. I feel that there is something always keeping us involved in our lives, our relationships, our work, and setting a good sleep wake cycle is important for you. As of now, I would suggest, if you have help, if you could time your sleep or power nap times when your baby sleeps, that will give you some break. And try and sleep when your baby sleeps, or try and catch a nap when your baby sleeps, or try and do some exercise to help yourself relax when your baby is in a happy mood. And we don't have to be up all the time if the baby is not yet mobile. So if the baby is up in the night, you fed the baby is clean, the diaper is not dirty, you can again catch up your nap, because the babies self-stimulate and they can play by themselves. You don't have to be up with them all the time. Uh, Coming back to the self-care topic that we were discussing, in other things in addition to sleep, there is a very important step that you need to do, and very simple too, is to just count the number of glasses of water that you're having in a day. You should be able to have about 7 to 8 glasses of water. And another thing important that you can check, and which is again a simple thing to check, is your breathing. Somebody mentioned here, I feel like I being anxious, I always give in to my negative thoughts. I'm tired all the time, and I think it's lack of motivation. Mandy is saying that. Uh, so what can help here is whenever you feel anxious or whenever you feel that fatigue setting in, just sit back and count your breaths, see whether they are rapid or shallow or they are deep and slow. Rapid and shallow usually happens when you're too involved with something, your body system is too activated, you're too anxious, and just slowing down your breathing will help you a lot at that point in time. Negative thoughts and wanting to work with motivation again forms a part of your emotional hygiene. One thing I really like as a saying for helping you build your motivation is that action precedes motivation. There is never the right moment or time, that is the perfect time to start something. Once you start something and you see results and you see yourself getting involved in it, that is how you build up your motivation. Catherine says that I've never managed to do that and I never remember. Even reminders don't help. Uh, it seems you're procrastinating even when you see reminders. Is that what happens, Catherine? That you know that you've set up a reminder to do something, but then the alarm rings, and then you again postpone it for later. It probably seems that either it is something that you are not being able to prioritize, or it's something that's anxiety arousing for you. I would say that you will have to take the smallest step that you can take at that point in time to get it started. So it's like that, starting trouble, that car needs a little push to get started. And that push can come from, say, asking for support. If you have friends or relatives who can push you a little or give you that slight nudge to take whatever you want to take it up, or maybe reminding to go and exercise. It may, I really want to drink more water. Okay, fine. Yes, it's absolutely, you want to drink more water, you can probably tie it up with something else. For example, you can keep a bottle of water next to your laptop, or you can keep a bottle of water just next to your bedside, or you can probably keep it somewhere where you can see it. So building a habit, which is something we can take up as another separate topic altogether. For building a habit, you can always fix more predictable cues around habits you want to build. So if you want to go for exercise in the morning and you are not getting that motivation, you're not getting that energy to get up and just go out and jog, I suggest keep your shoes right where you can see them the minute you get up in the morning. Keep your jogging suit ready, or keep your track suit ready right where you can see it in the morning. Maybe hang it up in your restroom where you go, where you will go. That is something that doesn't require motivation, right? The body pushes you to go and use the washroom. So put your shoes and put your track suit or jogging suit right there where you can go and pick that thing up. Aishwarya says, how do you balance pushing your limits to strive for success versus self-care? Self-care can sometimes seems like laziness. Aishwarya, I had said in the beginning of this conversation that self-care is often considered a selfish or a narcissistic or an indulgent kind of behavior, but it is definitely not. Self-care just doesn't involve sleep or not doing things. Self-care in fact means that you're able to balance your life and your work routine and your personal care in a way where doing things for yourself will make you more productive, will make you more involved in what you're doing with more energy. So that is the entire purpose of a self-care routine, where you take the breaks when needed. So you listen to your body, and if you feel you're getting tired, just that first signs appear of pain or the first signs appear of tiredness, that is the time to stop. Do not continue till the time where you're so drained out that your rest of the day becomes unproductive. So this is called pacing. Pacing is a very important part which you can implement both in terms of your mental health and physical health. So when you're working and you feel you're not just being able to focus, sitting down and continuously trying to focus will not help. That is the point in time you need a break. You need to get up, go wash your face, or maybe, like I said, take a breathing break. Yes, perfect. Praise your small successes, Laura says. That is something really nice, for feeling motivated, that you praise your small wins. If your goal is to drink 7 glasses of water per day, even if you manage 5, that's a small win. um, Hi, Miss Feline, I'm Dot from Berlin. Hi, Dot. Lil Miss Manic says, do you recommend the app for teenagers? This app is not meant for anyone below 17 or 18, I guess. Yes, it's 18. So, and if teenagers want to use it, they should definitely be done with, it should be done with parental consent. It is not without parental consent. But you can always share the information that you learn here or you learn on Wysa with your kids if you find anything helpful. CBT is cognitive behavior therapy, mein, and if you have negative thoughts, if you have self-critical thoughts, we work on that on one particular side. And behavior is that the theory claims that you're wanting to change your thoughts to influence your behaviors, to get you to being more motivated, to get you more productive, to help you deal with, say, depression, or to help you cope with OCD. Or, yes, CBD is absolutely safe, Abhijit. What can you tell someone who's dealing with depression? That's Charlotte's question. If you know someone who's dealing with depression, be there to listen to them. That is something which I really want to spread a word about. Loneliness is like really increasing, and it's very important that we're available. And I think somebody is really lucky if you have someone to just talk to, or somebody who's there to listen to you. Be empathetic, understand what they are going through. I know it's difficult if you are not experiencing it yourself, but the other person is experiencing it, and whatever they say is very true. So you just cannot tell someone to get over it or go have an ice cream and that will help you. You can suggest small things. Okay, Charlotte, you're the one who's dealing with depression. I'm sorry to hear that, and I appreciate that you're seeking help for it. Um, I would say that do little things that can help you keep your routine. Routine itself is therapeutic, and also in the beginning, I had mentioned that self care is nothing but having a very good routine where you're doing everything in a balanced amount, where you're not feeling too drained out or too physically fatigued or too emotionally fatigued, and you can have a good night's sleep. Uh, it's not absolute in its nature. There would be ups and downs, highs and lows, but balancing those highs and lows is what we need to strive for. So if you have depression, if you're struggling with keeping up your motivation or feeling low energy, pace yourself. That's what I just suggested to someone else also, that pacing your day by listening to your body and your mind is the key. Remember that if you want to set goals for yourself, set them as baby steps so that you're able to take them easily and you're not over expecting from yourself. If you're not able to keep up to a routine immediately, do not judge yourself too harshly, because that would only bring your self esteem and confidence all the more down. I hope you're seeking help in terms of medication or therapeutic support, Charlotte. That would also be a part of self care, to seek support, to ask for help. Samantha says, I have 2 babies and feel lonely and gets overwhelmed between taking care of them, work, cleaning house. What can I do to balance? It's again a very relevant question. People who are into not just are not just mothers or rearing babies, or also people who are looking after people who are unwell or people with terminal illness. It's get very fatiguing. Caregiving is a very excuse me, is a very draining activity, and it's important to take enough breaks to be able to take care of yourself. The break may not be possible when the babies are in a very active mode, but it may help. Like I had suggested to someone else, that when your babies are asleep, you form your routine around their routine initially till the time their own sleep wake cycles are fixed, which is about till about 6 to 8 months. In their when they are turn 6 to 8 months, that's when their sleep starts getting more regularized, and you'll be able to then set a better routine for yourself. But as of now, probably have a routine around your baby's routine, and You could switch on to yoga, which is something more doable at home, and if your doctor is okay with it, you can check with what kind of exercise you could do when you are at home with them. You could probably have a routine where you're taking your babies out for a walk. Is there any way you can get extra help, maybe hire a help, or maybe ask a relative? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that they are sick, Samantha. This is a very difficult time indeed. And it's again very important that you look after your health, because if you're not being able to do that, looking after them would become really difficult. Um, you could seek special help at this point in time. Are there any relatives or friends that could support you with some physical help, doing some course? Then that will be great. There's some more questions I missed. I'm just going to scroll up. So give me a second if I don't talk and take a silence, pause break for myself. Okay. May that's a great strategy that you're writing positive statements when you feel anxious or low. Vivian asks, exams are coming and I find it really hard to concentrate because of anxiety. I feel tired, which doesn't help with my revisions. Vivian, you're very right. Anxiety can be very paralyzing and disabling. It can occupy a large part of your thinking, focusing activity, and drain you out without having done much. So, there are certain exercises that you could do in deep breathing exercises. You could also prepare your modules that you want to attain in a particular you want to study or revise in a particular day. Sometimes just imagining that these are really large portions and how would you cover can get that anxiety up. So if you break it up into very small portions, doable portions, it may help you stay calm, and it may help you manage your anxiety better. Try whenever you're reading, when you sit to study, try and involve as many senses as you can. For example, you can speak aloud as you read and also make notes simultaneously. When you do that, it's hard for your brain to get distracted, because most of the senses are involved at that point in time when you're revising, and the revision would be better because you're involving multisensory methodology to study. And take breaks. I had suggested a work cycle or a study cycle where you study for 25 minutes, take a 2 minutes break, again study for 25 minutes, take a 2 minutes break, and do four such cycles, and then take a 15 minutes break. And in each break, you could simply relax or think of what you've done. How has it sunk in? Would you want to revise again what you studied in the earlier cycle and then move on to the next thing? So those breaks help you evaluate the work that you're doing or the studying that you're doing, and it gives you a chance to uh, get your focus back in the next 25 minutes. Human attention span in any case is not it's not very continuous. It can break after 25 to 30 minutes. That is why a lot of schools or colleges have their classes scheduled around that time span. So after 40 minutes there'll be a break, or the class would probably end. uh, I can take one or two more questions. Catherine, I think you need a lot of assistance because it seems that medication hasn't helped at all. I think therapy or coaching or counseling would definitely help you. Exercising would definitely help you. I hope you have exercise in your routine. Um, Jestable says I started my PhD 8 months ago. I'm still doubtful, wondering if I took the right decision. What can you suggest me to take a decision? Jestable, I feel this is a very personal decision that you've taken. I think if you could evaluate why in the first place did you want to get into PhD? What was it that attracted you towards getting a PhD? I know it's a very demanding uh, a PhD is a very demanding involvement with anything. It has your attention and focus for the next couple of years. It could get fatiguing, or you may you're having the doubts whether you took the right decision. It could happen in the next 1 year, 2 years again, because it's something which pulls or extends, and you have to be emotionally and physically and even financial involvement is there sometimes for some people. So to keep your motivation up, keep evaluating each time why I got attracted to it, why I started it, and what would it lead to for me? How will it change my life for me once I do this PhD? How will this process change my life for me when I am constantly learning new things, researching new areas that I want to study? So those are some things that could help you uh, take your decision. Hi, Mircia, if I'm saying your name right. How are you? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Yes, Tessa, the 40 minutes break works really good for us. And because that, like I said, the attention span is difficult to sustain after 20 to 30 minutes, and maximum we can stretch it to 40 minutes. Um I think we've answered a lot of questions. For those who we haven't been able to answer, we plan to extend the same session even for next week. So I'll definitely try and include the other questions which have been asked here today. And it's been a very interactive, very wonderful session. And I would like to sum it up by saying that uh, self care, again, it's a remember that you cannot pour from an empty cup. You have to fill your own cup first before you can offer yourself to your work, to your family, to your relationships, to anything that demands your attention. And it's very important that you constantly invest in your own self, because that investment is what will help you invest in the other things that you're doing better. So remember to have a good sleep hygiene. Sleep is one of the most essential elements for good physical and mental health. So if it's about 6 to 7 hours of sleep, it's very good. If it's good quality sleep, it's even better. If you're not being able to have it, remember to take adequate breaks in your work cycle or in your caregiving cycle the next day. Try and catch up on your sleep. Sleep accumulates, it's like a debt. So you need to reduce the debt. Remember to drink 6 to 8 glasses of water in a day. I'm sorry, Catherine, you can't exercise because of your broken leg. It's you're going through a lot. Probably you could, just do stretching, some kind of stretching on the bed with your arms and your, I'm sorry, with your arms and your upper body to just get that movement, getting in. And once you recover, you could get back to your routine. It's a tough time right now, I can really see that. But if you keep pulling yourself down because of what you're feeling, it won't help either. So try and do things which probably could help you right now. What are some things you could do in this period? It's like a period of forced rest for you. So how can you make the best use of this time that you have, in terms of probably you could learn something online, or you could catch up with all the people you may not have spoken to by calling them up and speaking to them. So see what best you could do at this point in time to get through this moment till you recover and till you're back on your legs. So we were counting up the self-care tips. So it was sleep, it was water, have nutritious food, have healthy meals, at least 2 healthy meals a day, and try and be mindful of your eating to avoid overeating or undereating. Stop when you feel full. Take smaller helpings, and or probably take a smaller plate for your helpings if you can't avoid overeating. That will help you limit your portion size, and you will feel more fresher after eating the right quantity of food rather than feeling lazy after eating a lot of food. Also, emotional hygiene. Remember to let the steam out regularly. Vent out. If you don't have a particular person to vent out, you could speak to a professional. You could also journal for yourself. You can write down diaries or letters to yourself of how you felt in a particular moment and how you would want to improve upon that moment the next time you feel it. Express gratitude regularly in your life for the little things that are making you feel positive and making you feel good about yourself and the other people around. That's how you increase your positivity credits for yourself to bank on later in moments when you're down. And with this, we end our conversation today. Thanks everyone for joining. And we'll connect next Thursday. I probably with the same topic. We'll stay in touch and update you on that. So bye everyone.